Alright guys, here we are with the season finale of season 2 of The Dragon Prince, titled Breathe, which probably about Callum being unable to breathe at the end of the last episode. I'm so sad that this season is over already, but because I only did an episode a week, the wait for season 3 hopefully won't be as excruciating. But while we wait, make sure to stick around for other stuff like Game of Thrones, My Hero Academia, Stranger Things, One Punch Man, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and some other shows while we wait. So, Callum started being unable to breathe at the end of last episode. I feel like he's going through a kind of metamorphosis with the visions he's having. Interesting to see what he becomes on the other side of it. Sad to say, but I feel like it's probably too soon, storytelling-wise, for Soren to be healed already. I was hoping he could be, because I feel really bad for him, but doesn't seem likely. I'm curious about what's going down between Claudia and Ezran. I feel like they'll probably just talk some things out. Ezran probably wants to hear what's going on back in the kingdom without a king, and how Harrow, maybe find some other things out about Harrow. And then Viren and Erebos, I need to know what's going on there and how... I need to know what Erebos' plans are. It's all very curious, but enough chit-chat. If you want to watch full reactions with the footage, check out Patreon in the link in the description below. And let's begin. Yeah. Aww. That thing is huge! Whoa!
Banthers are actually pretty friendly. They like praise, compliments, and a friendly scratch under the chin every now and then.
Hey, that's like me.
Aww.
I am having a problem getting some people to listen to me. To hear the importance of what I'm saying.
Who are these people?
They are kings and queens, the leaders of the other 4 human kingdoms.
Then we will have to get their attention.
Oh boy.
My dad.
That's okay. You don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. When I was a kid, my mom and dad split up.
Oh.
I remember hearing them fight a lot at night after we went to bed. We had to choose.
They had to
And
choose.
Soren
Oh man.
chose Dad. How could I choose? How could I do that? Then my mom looked at my dad and she told me to stay. She said I had to stay with Soren, that this was my home and my brother and I needed each other. I think she needed to leave for herself, to be happy, somehow. You might have noticed my dad is pretty intense. Losing her has been the hardest thing that's ever happened to me.
When you grow up, sometimes there are changes you don't expect.
Look at him
And you
dropping
have to
wisdom.
face things you're not ready for. Callum told me that.
Oh.
You don't just have a way with animals. You can talk to them, can't you?
Yes, I can talk to them.
Breathe. Breathe.
Who's telling him to breathe? Whose voice is that?
Callum, you need to breathe.
Sarai?
Sometimes you just need to focus on the present. Take a deep breath and just be.
Oh, Callum, please come back. It doesn't matter what you did before. I just want you to be okay again.
Wait,
Callum!
the Sky Arcanum?
Sometimes I love you with all of myself. And I always will.
I can't lose you like this. You mean too much to me.
Aww.
Callum, I...
I love you.
Oh, look, you're awake now. You're even looking cheery.
I understand the Sky Arcanum.
She's like, bullshit.
There's a family of deer here. I almost forgot how deer love milk fruit.
Yes. Yes, they do.
Did she want the milk fruit or did she want the deer? That's why she's sending him.
You understand the Sky Arcanum now.
The whole world is like a giant primal stone, and we're inside
Whoa.
That kind of makes sense.
Yes, and
So
I
prove
kept
it,
thinking
prove
about
it.
birds and sails and how they connect to the wind, and I thought I had to find my wings. But that's just it. I am the wing.
Use the sail.
That makes less sense. But okay.
Okay. this all builds up to nothing, I'm gonna be so mad. Oh, there it is! There it is! You're seeing Bates' face. Aspero.
Aspero.
Woo! Oh my god.
I love your zappy kisses.
Aw.
Callum, you figured it out? You can do magic again.
That's incredible, Prince Callum.
Thanks.
Who are you?
Who are you?
You missed a few things while you were out.
I serve the young king.
What?
I know about Dad.
Claude's.
I'm sorry, little one, but you are agile, young, and alive. And I need you.
Oh crap. That did a number on her as well.
What's this? I can move my toes. I can move my toes.
What happened to her?
My knees and my strong, powerful thighs. Claude? Are you okay?
No.
You're gonna be better now. That's all that matters.
I'm not going with you to Zadia. I have to face my responsibility. Now that I'm king, I have to go home. Maybe I can help the world better from the throne. I can do whatever I can to stop the war. I'll miss you, Rayla, but I'll see you again.
What?
I promise.
You'd better. I know where you live.
As
That's
soon as Zim is home, I'll come back to help you. I love you.
I love you too.
I'm gonna split them up. Oh, bye Zim.
I'm so proud of you, little guy.
Oh no.
Are simple animals. They deserve to be motivated by fear.
Is he gonna create like fake elves to attack them? Looks like it.
To Neolandia, to Evenir, and to Durin.
God. Where's this monsoon path?
One simply walks into Zadia, huh?
Hold on.
So, how do we know?
Patience, friend.
The moon? Ah. Very cool.
Open it for them.
The Avatar State. What? Is he channeling it through Viren somehow? He's just murdering these people. Holy, oh jeez. The bird.
It's over.
But I can destroy them all. I have all the power I need. Stop!
And he disappeared.
You have betrayed me.
No. I will stay with you.
No. No, he hasn't betrayed him.
We need to hurry. If the sun rises, we won't be able to see the moon runes.
Oh god, oh, that's fast.
What's wrong?
He
Why are you
hears.
stopping?
He hears Zim.
I can see something.
What?
Okay, Zim, you can do this.
What?
Block the light.
What?
You can do this, Zim.
He's flying!
Oh, nicely done. Give him that boost he needs. Go.
We can see the path again.
Go.
If I may be so bold,
Why are we doing
You're
this?
a weird king, King Ezra.
I know.
Failed missions, mad dad. But Dragonhorn means magic? Maybe dad not mad.
Oh wait.
Amazing! Oh no. It's him. Sol Regan.
So who? Aww. Oh, this is really cute. Look at that. Ah, I'm flying. Oh, I'm crying. That was really interesting, though, seeing him fly after seeing him interact, seeing Ezran talk to Zim telepathically. That's something we haven't seen before. Yeah, we'll talk more about that later. What did they call him? Sol Regan? I don't know, I forgot already. But this, I feel like this is the one we saw in the intro, not the intro, the trailer, like, before Season 1, like the Season 1 trailer. And, I don't think we saw his eye messed up, though, before, when we watched that trailer. So I'm guessing some humans did this to him, probably. But yeah. Oh, yay, they found Gren, and he's so happy. He's just like, hi, guys. I am not chained down, I am chained up. Get him out! Well, it's good to know that Gren was found, because... Oh, that's where he was. Okay, so they opened the... That's what was down there. They opened the portrait, and Gren was there. So that's how they found him, and... Yeah, pretty sure Viren wasn't going to say anything about his secret lair if they didn't find it. So, glad Gren will be free now. Don't know what Aunt Maya will do. I thought we might get some closure on Aunt Maya, but guess not. I guess we'll lean more into that next season. Erebos. He didn't betray him at all. Going inside his ear, that was uncomfortable to watch, but I don't think he betrayed him. I think he's still... Viren's still the only person he can use, so... interesting that he put himself in the Avatar state, or whatever state, and gave that to Viren. So was Viren using dark magic in that moment, or was he using other magic? Because Erebos is the master of 6 primal sources. And yeah, very interesting. And freaking Viren. I mean, nobody knows he did this, so the human kingdoms might actually band together with him to do... I mean, Opeli has him under lock, but with Erebos' help, I think they should have finished him. They definitely should have finished him. I mean, I don't want to see Viren go because he's an interesting character and he's a fascinating villain. But if you're Opeli and if you're the Kingdom of Catalyst, you take him out because he's essentially a traitor. More than, and he just killed a bunch of guards too. Yeah, all right. I'll continue. Oh, he's teaching him to write banthers. That's really cute. Okay, they're gonna be home in no time if they write banthers, which makes me think, why didn't they do this with Callum and Rayla? They could have sped things up a little bit. But on their way home, I like how Corvus... Oh, this new budding relationship between Corvus and Ezran will be fun to watch. But our main team has been broken up. I don't know what to think about that. I'm not happy to see it, but it will offer some new dynamics. He's going to go home and try to be king. Viren might try to assassinate him still. I don't know. Claudia doesn't seem to... They don't seem to be feel betrayed by what Viren told Soren to do. So I'm afraid they're going to be on his side at least a little bit. Like, they don't understand that they won't treat him like a traitor. They'll treat him like their dad, and he's going to continue to make them do things that aren't too great. I'm very surprised that Soren was healed, though. I thought there would be more time for meditation and understanding who he is without the ability to walk. Very interesting. All right, let's continue. All right, guys, that was a fun season finale. Viren's story, I don't think he would have ever followed through with smashing that mirror. Like Erebos said, Viren is just too curious. I likened him to Vegeta, and in retrospect, it's all full-blood Saiyans. Their thirst for a challenge and a good fight leads them to do stupid things that are not in their self-interest, or are detrimental to their safety.
And Viren is like that, except with a thirst for knowledge, and his curiosity. Erebos convinces him to send elvish-looking shadows to attack the human kings and queens. I'm hoping they won't do any actual damage or hurt anyone, but a serious threat like this might actually make them come together against Zadia, even with Viren in prison. It'll be interesting to see if Ezran will be able to move things in the other direction. I also want to see Ezran interact with Anya. That'd be really fun. But when Viren is confronted by Katalis' guards, Erebos uses his eyes go rainbow, so it's a little different from the Avatar state, but it also transfers into Viren, and Viren straight up kills a lot of Katalis' guards. I felt like his motives were somehow always right on some level, but his actions are way more than can be justified. He's murdering his own people. He thinks that Erebos betrayed him when he told him to give up. I don't think that's the case at all. I have a feeling this is going to go... I have a feeling this is going exactly how Erebos wants, and Erebos is definitely not done with Viren yet. So elsewhere, Claudia apologized to Ezran for what she did to Ezran and Callum earlier in the season, and she opened up about her family when Ezran is sad about his dad. She was saying how her mother had to leave them and Viren for her own happiness, and how they were forced to choose who to stay with. It sounds like their mother had to do it for her own mental health, honestly. And then even then, Soren chose his father, and he still hasn't felt that love or approval from him, and he desired it from the beginning, I feel like. Claudia couldn't choose, and her mother made the choice for her to stay with her brother, which makes sense, but it's rough. I don't know how much the mother felt, how much the mother loved Soren and Claudia, but if she did, that must have been a heart-wrenching decision to make. But for this betterment of both siblings, keeping them together is better. And I guess the way Viren argues, I can imagine how difficult it must have been to be with him. The way he objected to Harrow bringing the injured back to Katalis after getting the Lava Titan's core. He was saying, "Oh, you wouldn't do this if she wasn't your wife's sister." That is just some really... that is dude, I can't even put into words. And he's got a bit of a temper, not even a bit, he's got a big temper too, so I understand wanting to leave and needing to leave. As far as we've seen, he's never directed that anger towards his children, so I can... But it's still not understandable to leave the children with him if there's a chance he unleashes that anger on them. And he has asked them to do bad things, and I feel like the mother has to come into play in the story somehow in the future, hopefully, or maybe it's just something to give them motivation. Because it's interesting, because I don't know how the loss of their mother really shaped Claudia and Soren. Looking back on the entire series, none of their actions are explained by it, and maybe it's something that I'll go develop further on in the story, and we'll explore it later. Claudia does get Ezran's help in getting to the deer through the milk fruit, only Ezran doesn't know he led her to killing an animal and more dark magic being performed. It does heal Soren though, it made him fly up in the air while she cast it, and it looked like it was all the magic was traveling through all his nerves, not just working on his spine, and it was definitely fun and a relief to see Soren so happy. I just hope he takes his point of view from when he was hurt and abandon his mission to kill Callum and Ezran and just be able to stand up to his father a little bit. Maybe pursue things he actually wants to do rather than do everything for his father. But Claudia, she did not come out of that spell unscathed. There was that strand of white hair. The spell took a huge toll on her body. I don't hold her killing the deer or doe to unparalyze Soren whatsoever. We eat and kill animals for meat all the time. But the rules are different in this universe, and while I still think it's the right move, there are more consequences and implications to her actions. We still don't know enough about the rules of this universe to know how dark magic corrupts you, but I am worried about Claudia a bit. And then we have Callum struggling so much physically, but going through something so profound in his mind, in his visions. He sees his mother reminding him to breathe, telling him to slow down so that his spirit and his body can catch up to his mind. It's really cool. And and she said that in order to know something truly and deeply, you must know it in your heart, your head, hand, and heart, mind, body, and spirit. So head, hand, and heart is just a repetition of mind, body, and spirit. I feel like the mind is the head is the mind, the hand is the body, and the heart is the spirit. I think. My question is, how come no other human has ever been able to figure this out before? I guess part of it is needing the primal stone to experience it and sharpen his mind. Maybe we'll find out more about it later, but what I love about that scene was, as the scene was ending with Sarai, she was like holding him and telling him how much she loves him, and it cuts to Rayla in the physical world holding him the same way. So for those Raylan shippers, that's pretty good fodder. You can go to around like 4 minutes and 3 seconds to see the transition. And they also play the Raylan shippers a lot by having her seem like she's about to say she loves him. That was really funny. Callum wakes up and he's connected to the Sky Arcanum, and he's like talking it up a little bit, and Rayla's kind of looking at him like, haha, really? That's interesting. She's like trying not to crush his dreams, but also like very much doubting him. He's like, I thought I had to find my wings, but I am the wing. And she's like, that makes less sense, but okay. Her mannerisms are just the funniest, and I find it really, really great. I've been saying that she has a Scottish accent, but I saw a Reddit thread that said that her Scottish accent actually sounds really, really bad to people who are Scottish. So take from that what you will. So I actually thought he might jump off the cliff because he was walking so close to the edge, and like he said he was talking about wings. So I was like, oh, is he gonna try and fly? Thankfully, he was just still doing Aspero. Hopefully, he learns Aspero Frius pretty soon. I feel like they gloss over this primal magic really, really quickly though. Like, this is the first human being to ever do primal magic, and we've been told all along that humans can't do primal magic. I guess just being compared to end of last season, where Zim being born was like such a big deal, this kind of felt like a little anticlimactic. But Ezran comes back and he says he needs to come home. He needs to go home and be king, and it's honestly very sad. Like, this group dynamic is going to be so completely different. Like, I actually think it's equally important for Callum to get home as soon as possible too. Like, if he could teach primal magic to other humans, dark magic would no longer be necessary. Even if he doesn't teach it to them, he could at the very least tell them that it's possible, and people would start to shift away from dark magic a bit. I don't know if Viren and Claudia are the only two who are using it, but it can't be just those two, right? If they are able to stop the use of dark magic or lower it, that would definitely lower tensions between the human kingdoms and Zadia. So Callum needs to get his... Callum and Rayla need to get to Zadia and get them to his mother and get back ASAP. And Ezran, he's a father figure to Zim, and Zim was so sad when Ezran left. All those like doggy noises, I was just really sad for him. And when they were getting split apart, they used like a softer version of the theme in the credits, so that was really, really powerful use of the music in that moment. And then Callum and Rayla go along the Moonstone path, and it starts turning to morning when they're halfway across it. And Ezran's powers are just so overpowered. Like, he's got a psychic link with a dragon. Can you imagine, like, years from now, like a decade from now, the dragon is humongous, and he just like, oh, I need help with something, and he can summon the freaking dragon from Zadia. I mean, they have to be pretty far away at this point. Like, he can still communicate with him and see through his eyes. Can he do that with other animals, or is just because he has such a close relationship with Zim? Like, anytime he's in trouble, can call on other animals around him. And he tells Zim to fly up and block the sun's light so that the runes will continue to show on the rocks. And I get that Corvus has to follow the king's orders no matter what. And I would like to believe that he did it like very willingly and was just like happy to indulge Ezran in whatever he does. At the end, he was like, if I may be so bold, you are a weird king. So yeah, Corvus is really growing on me. He's really funny. And finally, the last two scenes, Claudia and Zoran are heading back home. They're talking about how they failed their mission, but they have the dragon horn. I like Soren's logic that maybe with the horn, it'll make some magic and Viren won't be mad that they failed their mission. Claudia was somehow like counting on her fingers to work out the logic, which I'm just like, how do you count what he said? But yeah, she thinks it'll work too. Little do they know he's a traitor and is locked up. I just hope Erebos doesn't in some way corrupt them too. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, the Erebos' bug crawled inside his ear. Oh my god. Anyway, Callum and Rayla are in Zadia now, and they're both pretty happy about it. They finally made it, until they run into Soul Reagan. It looks like the dragon that we saw in the first trailer way back when, except I don't think it had that scar on its eye. Is this just a chance meeting? Did the dragon sense that human used primal magic for the first time? Will it be friendly or dangerous? The fact that Rilla thinks it's bad news might suggest the latter, but we'll have to wait for Season 3 to know for sure, I think. But that's how the season ends. Some really great moments this season, though I will say I think I enjoyed Season 1 a little more. Either way, I need way more episodes. If there was one thing I felt was left hanging, it was definitely Amaya's story. I thought it was possible our heroes would run into her at the border, but they're just way past her by now. Her story never really went anywhere this season. We got some really cool fights and scenes with her, but her story is basically like treading water until it's ready for something bigger. I'll be looking forward to that when the time comes. And yeah, for now, I think the characters I'm most invested in are Soren and Claudia. I'm not saying they're my favorite. My favorites are probably Claudia, Rayla, and Ezran. But Soren and Claudia's character arcs are the most muddled right now. We don't have a really good idea about where they'll go, and I'm excited to see how they'll handle their father's imprisonment. I forgot to mention one thing. The bird Pip flew away, so if Viren did indeed switch the bird with King Harrow, it'll be interesting to see if he flies to Ezran and talks to him. Ezra is the only one who could actually converse with Harrow as a bird, and Harrow could actually teach him how to rule that way, so that would be pretty interesting. Oh, and the post-credit drawings are great. My two favorite ones, the first one was the soldier finding Gren, and he's like so upbeat. He's just like, ah. It's great. We should all aspire to be more like Gren. And then the other one was Ezran and Corvus riding the Banthers. Corvus is going to start understanding just how special Ezran is. But be sure to stick around on this channel. We're going to do some fun Dragon Prince related videos. I've seen someone on Reddit who is colorizing all of these post-credit drawings, which I want to share with you guys. I think he's only up to episode 5 of the first season though, so maybe I'll save it until he does more. But we'll look up fan art, memes, things like that. It'll be fun. And if you want to check out the next episode, too bad, because season 3 isn't out yet. But if you want to watch full episode reactions, or you want to check out the other shows I'm watching, you can check out Patreon in the link in the description below, or over here. And be sure to like, comment, share, all the good stuff, and subscribe so you don't miss the next season when it comes out. So thanks for watching. Bye, friends.